Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. You guys are probably shocked right now hearing my voice instead of music, and that's okay because this is my first speed build voiceover. I've been meaning to do this for a long time because I know hearing music and all these speed build videos may get boring or annoying sometimes, so I wanted to try something different for my first video of the new year. By the way, Happy New Year everyone! I know I'm super late, but I really hope this is a good year for me and for everyone after the chaos of 2020. For those of you who have been keeping up with updates on Instagram and Discord, you'll know that it's taken me a while to get back into the groove of making videos and creating a schedule, but I think I have it figured out. I'll post an update of my schedule when it's finally concrete, so that will include my upload schedule and my stream schedule. On that note, I'm on my last semester of college. I'm so close to graduating in the spring, and so I'm trying to do well in all of my final classes, which makes having a YouTube channel and a Twitch more difficult, but I'm really trying my best, I promise. So as always, there may be a few changes in the stream schedule, or some might be postponed, or video may be uploaded a day late, just because of my classes and having everything online again. But you guys know that's not unusual for me since I suck at keeping to a schedule. Anyway, I'll stop blabbing about updates and actually talk about the build now. So this was actually a very difficult build for me to do. Some of you know that I plan every build I do and I bulldoze it and then I record the speed build, just because if I tried to record the whole build on the first go, it would probably be close to 12 hours of footage, and that's almost impossible to render and edit. I had such a hard time with this one because it's extremely out of my comfort zone. Like, I build normal houses and stuff with just one pop of color, but this was so hard because it was so colorful, and I wanted it to be that way, but I just could not figure out what color palettes I wanted to use for each of the 3 townhouses. Because I wanted them all to be different, but they needed to look similar. Anyway, so that's what was going on with this build, but I did it. I actually finished it, and I liked how it came out for once. So I got my inspiration for this build from a painting I found on Pinterest, and originally I wanted to use a different picture that was actually a real photo taken of townhouses in the French Quarter of New Orleans, but it just didn't have enough color, and I didn't think I could make it look good from that specific reference picture. So when I found the painting, I was like, oh my gosh, this is it, I'm gonna build this. So once I figured out the exterior and adding the colors on the walls and picking the theme for the exteriors for each townhouse, like the door and window colors, which I pretty much just finished now in the video, I had to figure out how to lay out the inside because I couldn't find a single reference picture of the inside of these townhouses. Every picture I found was like luxurious on the inside and just very white and fancy with no colors, and it was the complete opposite of what I was really looking for. So basically I had to actually do the interiors of each of these without reference pictures, which was so hard for me because I draw all of my inspiration from those. So that's when I started looking at the couch colors from the new Paranormal pack, and I tried just looking up some color palettes to create the right spaces for each of these. So you'll see when we get to the inside, the rug colors that came with the pack and the couch colors they're the same, but they don't have as many rug options to match with the couches, and so I had to kind of work with what was there, and it was just so hard for me to figure out what colors looked well together without being like too much. So I hope you guys like how each of these turned out because it was a real struggle, and I wanted to get this video up this weekend after the pack was released. So right now you can see I'm just struggling to get this plant on the 3rd floor. For some reason it just wasn't working, but we figured it out. And I'm just kind of adding a bunch of plants on the outside because from all the pictures I found, they were like super decorated with a lot of lights and plants and stuff, I guess, so they don't look very boring. And so that's what I was trying to mimic. And then we just put a few trees in the back just so it wasn't so open, and that just kind of filled in some of the space on the lot that the building didn't take up. So this build, for those of you who don't know, is based on the townhouses found in the French Quarter of New Orleans, Louisiana, which I've kind of mentioned a few times. I'm pretty sure it's where Mardi Gras takes place, and New Orleans is like a big cultural area, and a lot of shows reference this location or take place in this location. And they mention a lot about mediums, paranormal activity, and voodoo type stuff. If you watch American Horror Story, you know that in the Coven season, they all live in New Orleans, and obviously the Voodoo Queen lives in her small hairdresser shop in the heart of the French Quarter. Also, if you watch The Originals, which is a TV show spin-off of the Vampire Diaries, the main family lives in New Orleans in the French Quarter. So those are two shows that kind of popped into my head when I was creating this build. So now we're moving on to the inside of the first townhouse. So this one, I was trying to keep it very light in colors. This is the first one that I did, so obviously I wasn't going like crazy with the different colors and stuff, but I was really trying to use a few other colors besides just using white and blue, which you'll see here. I kind of added some yellow, and then I used the pink chairs, which had a little bit of, I guess it's a purpley maroon color, and I thought that looked really good. So I also picked the curtains that had the light blue in it to match the windows, and then some of the same color from those chairs. And you'll notice in pretty much all three of the townhouses, I didn't really add any electronics. It didn't seem like it really fit the vibes, you know, so I just kind of kept everything a little more ancient, I guess you could say. I used a lot of candles and stuff, but that just fits with the paranormal pack anyway, so it makes sense. I used a bit of light yellow in the kitchen, and it matched the fireplace really nice from the new pack too, so that was really exciting. Not gonna lie, I think the curtains are probably my favorite thing from this pack. I mean, they match really well with a lot of other packs that we have. Like, you notice that I used a lot of Strangerville stuff, such as like the doors and the windows and things, and it just matches really well, and they actually fit perfectly on the windows, which I wasn't expecting that. I just kind of did it, and I was like, oh, beautiful, it's perfect. So that was really fun. And it was also fun to figure out how the wallpaper would kind of match with everything. I only used the paranormal stuff wallpaper in the bedrooms and like the main living room areas of each of the townhouses. I didn't use any of the base game wallpapers or stuff like that because I really wanted to use what came with the pack for this build. And the colors were definitely pretty, some of them, but some of them were a little crazy. Like when we get into the second townhouse, I originally was going to use the dark yellow color of wallpaper, but I thought it was like way too much, like too crazy, so I switched to the yellow curtains instead. But you'll see in this townhouse I used a bit of yellow, like I put in that yellow desk, and it looked really nice, and I kept a lot of light blue in there. And a lot of the vampires stuff looks good with this pack too, and I used city living stuff and tiny living stuff, and it all works really nice together. So I would say that the paranormal pack works with a lot of other packs that are already in The Sims, and that's really what I was so happy about with this pack. And I think everyone else was really excited about that too, because if we got packs that just didn't match at all with the other stuff we have, it would just be really disappointing. And the bathrooms, I didn't add screenshots of the bathrooms because it was way too hard to get screenshots of just such a small room. So this is your chance to see them. I kept the bathrooms to match the main living areas in all the townhouses, so they don't look much different from the colors that I already used. And now we're moving to the second townhouse. So this one was the one that I tried the dark yellow wallpaper in, and it just was not working. So I switched to the pink wallpaper because I really wanted to use this light blue teal swatch of the couch, and the pink wallpaper actually looked really nice in there. So I used a lot of yellow decorations, like that table under the TV is from the movie stuff pack, I think, and that matched really well with the curtains. And I used a bit of the dark blue also for some color, and I used the maroon color that also came with the pack, which you can see on the lamps on the walls. This pack definitely has a boho type of eclectic vibe about it, and I think that's one of the reasons why I had such a hard time creating this build from this pack. It was really hard drawing inspiration because I don't normally build in that type of architecture or interior design, but I think I did okay. I tried really hard to use like multiple colors in all of these, and so you can see in the kitchen of this one, I didn't use the pink wallpaper in here. I used the dark navy color because I think it fit the cabinet color a little bit better. I think it would be weird to have pink wallpaper in your kitchen, even living in a place like this where you have so many colors. So I thought it was better just to use the blue wallpaper and then have accents of some other colors in there. And I think it turned out really nice. I used the shelf from Tiny Living, which the color matched the wallpaper perfectly, so that was great. And I used the Realm of Magic fridge and stove because it was really cute, and I think it matches the whole paranormal type thing. So if you really wanted to, you could have a sim living here that's like a witch or something like that, or they could be a vampire, whatever you want, because they kind of all go together, and that's why I really like this pack actually. So we moved up to the bedroom of the second townhouse, and I used the Realm of Magic bookcase in here because it actually matched the end tables from the paranormal pack really well. And then I used the nifty knitting desk for some more color, and the city living bed because it had a little bit of yellow and pink in it, which fit really well. And then the jungle adventure mirror color actually matched the nifty knitting desk really well too, so I thought it looked nice to add that. And then normally when I put these floor mirrors in, I'll add a few plants and lights around it because I think it just looks better than putting it up against a wall and then nothing's there. So that's what I did in this room. And then we added a few books and things, and then some wall lights. And then I think those paintings are from Tiny Living. And then just filled in a bit more of the space with some bookcases. So really, if you wanted to have a witch or a wizard sim living here, it would fit really nice with how I've decorated it. But if you want to download it off the gallery, you can always change anything you want inside. You can be creative yourself. And now we're moving over to the third and final townhouse. So this last townhouse on the right, I was also planning on it to be a lot darker than the other two, and my original idea for it was to be more gothic with the blackish gray wallpaper, and lots of like purple and red accents. But then when I got to the third floor of this one, I realized I couldn't change the door colors that I had on the top floor. I picked them solely to match the windows and stuff that I had, and when we get to the third floor, you'll see I picked the doors from the movie pack, so they're very bohemian style, and so I really couldn't change them. So then I had to come up with a new color palette, and I think this one actually looks way better. So this last townhouse I made bigger than the other ones by 1 floor because I wanted to make sure I could fit this seance table from the pack in one of these townhouses, and I was able to fit it in this one on the second floor. So I would imagine that the second floor of this one is a lot like a business room for a medium or something, so they could run their business on the second floor and then have their bedroom on the third floor. But honestly, you could do whatever you want with it if you download it. But I just thought it fit with the layout a little bit better. So instead of doing the darker color palette on this townhouse that I had originally imagined, I ended up using the red and went with more of that teal color and some of the maroon and not very dark on the first floor. But then on the second floor, I used the same colors, but I just flopped them around so that the seance room looked a little bit darker, which is closer to my original idea. And I think it turned out really well. So with this townhouse, when I was trying to figure out the color palette, I had looked all over Google to try and find one that matched the colors from the couches and stuff, and I was like, I can't find anything, you know, I'm just gonna fail. This sucks. But I made it work, and I think the colors actually go really well together, and that was one of the most difficult parts of this. So I think it turned out good. And I'm glad that I didn't do just the super dark gothic thing, because I don't think it would have turned out as well as this one did. So I added a few extra things up here on the seance floor. I did put in a fireplace just to take up some space, and then I added in this divider from City Living because the colors actually match with this pack really well too. And so that's a bit of a divider between like the seance business space to the Sims desk office type thing in the back. And then up on the third floor, so these were the doors I was talking about. I picked them to be red because they match the windows and everything that was already on this build, but it's got the mint color around the outside, and I was like, oh, that doesn't match the dark, and I couldn't change it, but I think it looks really well with these colors that I picked out. So up on this third floor, we have it a bit lighter and brighter than I think the first floor was, but it turned out really good, and there's a lot of space up there, so if you really wanted to, you could turn that top floor into like a full studio apartment type thing, and you can make the bottom two floors like businesses or make it the home of another sim. Because this space up here is so big, you could probably fit a kitchen in there instead of making that second area in the back another bedroom. So this third townhouse is it's kitchen and living on the first floor. And then the second floor is like office / business. And then the third floor is 2 bedrooms and the bathroom. So I ended up fitting the bathroom on that back side, the back wall where the 2 doors are, but on the left a little bit more, you'll see in a second. And it suited better to the layout, I think. I was having issues putting the stairs in when I was first planning this build because the third floor is so much wider than the second floor, and I really had nowhere else to put them that would suit well for like the layout of the bedroom that I was imagining. So the L-shaped stairs were the best that I could do. But in the bathroom, we've got a double walk-in shower, which I used the Discover University shower heads, and then from Snowy Escape, the soap bottles on the wall. And I think it turned out really cute. And then this second room on the right is a second bedroom. If you wanted to, you could change it into like a skills room or something, or you could, like I said before, you could make it into like a kitchen or something like that if you wanted to have a few more Sims living on this lot. So you can make it for a kid. I think I was imagining more of a teen / just your usual guest bedroom in here. But it turned out really cute, and I kept the same colors throughout the whole place just so it was all matching. And we're almost at the end of the video. So I will let you guys enjoy the screenshots, and I hope you all enjoyed this speed build, and I am so happy to be back. I hope you all enjoy the rest of your day. Bye guys!